More news on the coronavirus, and NMU hockey gains increase in their average attendance.
Later, weather with Ross Ray and sports with Max Stevens. Hi, I'm Joseph Sigourney.
And I'm Caleb Rydell. Welcome to Public Eye News. The Northern Michigan University Wildcats are seeing huge numbers in attendance this year supporting the team. The average game attendance for the hockey team is now 3,555 people, which is up over 1,200 people from 2017. The extra support is driving the team to do better and makes them feel like they have a huge home advantage. Due to this spike, the Wildcats' new attendance is the second highest average in the WCHA. On top of the amount of attendees, NMU is also proud to be ranked by the NCAA in the top 9 student sections in college hockey. The student section, known as the Wild, is extremely proud of their hockey team and their section as a whole. The hockey team is set to take on Minnesota Mankato this weekend. And the Marquette County Board of Commissioners is approving a lease to a company operating in K.I. Sawyer so that they can expand their business. Argonix is a polyurethane products manufacturer which are found in snowplows, concrete mixers, and many other products. They have now been approved to lease an office space to expand their business that is already in K.I. Sawyer. The company is closing down its office in Colorado and is looking to move everything over. Approval from the board will see upwards of 12 new jobs for the area and will give additional revenue to the airport.
In the coming years, Michigan could see more toll stations after a bill was passed through the Michigan Senate that would allow a study to be done to determine if more toll stations could be imposed on Michigan roadways and bridges. Senate Bill 517, which is currently sitting in the Michigan House, would allow 18 months for the study to be done. Senator Ed McBroom said, quote, "The tolls would be likely be either on the I-94 corridor or the I-69 corridor, where you've got traffic coming from Chicago or out west or down south," end quote. The money collected from the tolls would be used for road repairs and maintenance. As of Tuesday night, the Delta County is officially the Second Amendment sanctuary county. Before the vote, dozens of community members took to the podium to declare their support or concerns during public comment in a standing room only courtroom. It was a 3-2 vote by the Delta County Commissioners. Delta County is approving the symbolic resolution allows them to follow in the footsteps of a handful of others in the state. David Moyle, a Delta County Commissioner, said, quote, "It means everything, but it means nothing. It's a symbolic resolution. It does not have the weight of the law," end quote.
The state of Michigan is known for having some of the worst roads and having the highest insurance premiums in the country. A recent and most extensive rewrite of Michigan's no-fault insurance law allows drivers to opt out of unlimited personal injury protection for less. When paying car insurance, a portion goes to personal injury protection, which covers things like medical treatment, rehabilitation costs, lost wages, and other injury-related costs. Due to the new Michigan law that will take effect in July, residents with insurance will now be able to choose one of 6 plans ranging from unlimited and $500,000 all the way down to $0 if they meet certain requirements. Additionally, under this new law, personal injury protection averages must be reduced for 8 years when the bill comes into effect in July. And the Michigan Department of Natural Resources is currently looking for applicants for 3 volunteer positions that are currently open in the Eastern Upper Peninsula Citizens Advisory Council. The council is made up of 20 members from Algiers, Chippewa, Luce, Schoolcraft, and Mackinac counties that meet monthly to advise the DNR on policies and programs, while also making notes of changes that could allow the department to be more effective. Members are encouraged to bring their own perspectives and knowledge to the meetings to allow for a diverse range of insight. The DNR will be accepting applications until February 28th. And after the break, we'll be back with your national and international news. Stay tuned.
These icebergs are amazing.
Journey to the icy ends of the Earth,
It just looks like Mars.
where the secrets of the past
We're on a beach.
We're on a beach 3 million years ago.
hold the clues to our future.
This place is so amazing.
This is the stuff that gives us a glimpse into a past warmer world.
Humans are geology. We are impacting this planet.
Polar Extremes on Nova.
Tonight at 8, plus an encore at midnight.
Welcome back. The U.S. trade deficit fell for the first time in 6 years in 2019 as President Donald Trump hammered China with import taxes. The Commerce Department said Wednesday that the gap between the United States sells and what it buys abroad fell 1.7% last year to $616.8 billion. U.S. exports fell 0.1% to $2.5 trillion, but imports fell more, slipping 0.4% to $3.1 trillion. Imports of crude oil plunged 19.3% to $126.6 billion. The deficit in the trade of goods with China narrowed last year by 17.6% to $345.6 billion. Trump imposed tariffs on a $360 billion worth of Chinese imports in a battle over Beijing's aggressive drive to challenge American technological dominance. Overall, the United States posted a $866 billion deficit in the trade of goods, such as cars and appliances, down from $887.3 billion in 2018. And speaking of President Trump delivered his State of the Union address to Congress last night. It's a Congress that is very much divided by both policies as well as the impeachment fight, which will come to an end this afternoon. Deborah Alfron has more details from Capitol Hill.
From President Trump's apparent snub of Speaker Nancy Pelosi's handshake,
I don't even know if the president saw the speaker's hand,
to her tearing up a copy of the speech when it was over.
As far as I'm concerned, the shredder wasn't available, and so she did what she needed to do.
The partisan divide was on full display last night. President Trump laid out the accomplishments of his administration and made his case for another 4 years in office.
Jobs are booming, incomes are soaring, poverty is plummeting.
The president also delivered several made-for-TV moments, awarding the Presidential Medal of Freedom to conservative radio host Rush Limbaugh and orchestrating a surprise reunion for a military family.
The president stuck to his script and did not mention impeachment. Today, the Senate wraps up with a final vote whether to convict or acquit.
Candidly, to my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, I fear that moral courage, country before party, is a rare commodity these days.
Every Republican is expected to vote for acquittal, and 1 or 2 Democrats may join them. Deborah Alfron, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
A plane in Istanbul is in pieces after skidding off the runway and crashing into a field that left 120 people injured. On Wednesday, a Pegasus airline plane carrying 177 people hit heavy rain and strong winds and caused a rough landing. 120 people who crawled out or were rescued from the plane were taken to the hospital, some with serious injuries. However, no one died in the incident. The airport was closed immediately following the crash, and flights were diverted to Istanbul's main airport. This is not the first time something like this has happened to the low-cost airline, as a month before, the same airline at the same airport also skidded off the runway. However, no one was injured in that incident. And dozens of U.S. citizens stranded in China during the coronavirus epidemic are back on U.S. soil today. They landed as China struggles to control the deadly coronavirus epidemic. Other nations are taking steps to keep their citizens safe, including the United States. Daniel Backus has the latest from Los Angeles.
Hundreds of Americans evacuated from China touched down north of San Francisco this morning in 2 planes at Travis Air Force Base. One plane refueled and traveled on to Miramar Marine Corps Air Station in San Diego. The evacuees will be held in quarantine for 2 weeks. More than 500 Americans have been airlifted from Wuhan, but time may be running out for U.S. citizens still there. The State Department confirms that after tomorrow, no more flights are planned. An American citizen is among 10 passengers who tested positive for coronavirus on a cruise ship off Japan. The patients have been removed, while the remaining 3,700 passengers will be confined to their cabins for 2 weeks.
The people I feel really sorry for are those with inside cabins who've got no natural light, no fresh air. It's going to be pretty grim for them for 2 weeks.
Worldwide, more than 24,000 people are infected with the virus. Most of them are in China, where social media posts show the tough measures authorities are taking. This woman is said to have been arrested in a grocery store for refusing to wear a mask. In another case, a woman gets into a fight and is beaten after reportedly refusing to have her temperature taken. Other videos claim to show authorities dragging people away after showing symptoms of the coronavirus. And with striking medical workers calling for action, Hong Kong will now require all people coming from mainland China to undergo 14 days of quarantine. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
And stick around because after the break, we'll be back with weather and sports.
For centuries, ancient human tools and weapons have been buried in ice.
This type of artifact is going to be more than 1,000 years old.
But as the ice melts, history is revealed like never before.
We're seeing for the very first time the whole weapon.
It feels like an electrical shock in a good way.
The story of how scientists around the world are racing to collect priceless artifacts.
Yes, it's complete.
Secrets from the ice.
Thursday afternoon at 3.
And welcome back to Public Eye News. My name is Ross, and I'll be taking you through your weather today. Looking behind me at the academic mall, it's looking a bit snow on the ground, some sun in the sky, and that's going to be continuing on tomorrow. Current conditions are sunny with a temperature of 21 degrees. Our wind southwest at 15 miles per hour, and a barometric pressure of 29.96 and steady. Going on later tonight, we're going to have some more clear skies, a low of 13 degrees, and our wind southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, some more sunshine with a high of 28 degrees, and our winds west at 5 miles per hour. Looking at the UP here, we have sun across the entire Upper Peninsula, so we're going to start all the way at Sault Ste. Marie at 25 and sunny. Going all the way to Manistee, Escanaba, and Menominee, all at 22 and sunny as well. Moving to the other half of the UP here, we're going to Iron Mountain at 24 and sunny, Ironwood at 29. All the way up in Houghton's going to be 28 and sunny, and back here in Marquette, it's 21. Let's look at your week ahead. On Friday, we're going to have a high of 20 degrees, low of 10 degrees, and some snow. On Saturday, we're going to have a high of 24, low of 18, and mostly cloudy. And on Sunday, we're going to round it out with some more snow and a high of 28 and low of 20. Well, Max, it's looking a bit unusual for wintertime up here in Marquette, but I heard we have some more interesting news down in the Lower Peninsula.
That's correct, Ross. It's a new era for Michigan State football. Michigan State head football coach Mark D'Antonio announced yesterday that he is stepping down. D'Antonio announced his retirement amid a lawsuit being filed for wrongful termination by former staffer Curtis Blackwell, although D'Antonio stated yesterday that lawsuit had no impact on his decision to retire. The 63-year-old D'Antonio retires as the winningest coach in school history, having led the Spartans to bowl games in 12 of his 13 seasons, winning 3 Big Ten championships and winning the Rose Bowl and Cotton Bowl in back-to-back seasons. The Spartans also made a college football playoff appearance under D'Antonio. Assistant coach Mike Tressel has been named the interim head coach, and D'Antonio will remain with the school's athletic department in an advisory role. And Houston Rockets center Clint Capella is on the move as part of an expansive 4-team, 12-player trade orchestrated last night. The trade is the largest in terms of number of players involved since 2000 in a deal headlined by the New York Knicks, sending Hall of Famer Patrick Ewing to the Seattle Supersonics. The 4 teams involved in the trade are Minnesota, Denver, Atlanta, and Houston, as the Rockets send Clint Capella to Atlanta and their first-round pick in this year's draft to Minnesota, while they receive Jordan Bell from Minnesota and a 2024 second-round pick from Atlanta. The Hawks also receive center Nene Hilario and are waiving forward Chandler Parsons to make cap space for the deal. Minnesota, in addition to the pick, acquires Evan Turner from Atlanta and Jared Vanderbilt from Denver. Finally, Denver receives Shabazz Napier from Minnesota, forwards Keita Bates-Diop and Noah Vonleh, as well as guard Gerald Green. And another blockbuster trade was completed yesterday in Major League Baseball, as the Boston Red Sox have agreed to send former AL MVP Mookie Betts and left-handed pitcher David Price to the Los Angeles Dodgers. A third team is also involved, the Minnesota Twins, who will be receiving starting pitcher Kenta Maeda from the Dodgers, while the Twins will be sending prospect pitcher Brusdar Graterol. The Boston will also be acquiring 23-year-old outfielder Alex Verdugo, who hit .294 for the Dodgers after taking over in center field for the injured A.J. Pollock. This move from Boston appears to be preemptive, as Mookie Betts is entering the last year of his contract and is due to earn a massive payday in free agency, while the Red Sox are trying to stay underneath the luxury tax threshold, which offloading Betts and Price will help them do. This deal is still pending medical reviews. And with that, that's all the time we have for you today on Public Eye News. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.